Next on the news at 10, it's a first for his country. Coming up, we'll introduce you to an inspiring soon-to-be UA graduate. And the cold weather has settled into West Alabama. We'll give you some tips on how to stay safe while driving on area roadways. Richard?
Yeah, Tamika, coming up at home team weather, getting very cold tonight. 37 Birmingham, 40 in Tuscaloosa, even 43 down in Mobile. How cold does it get tonight? And how about your weekend forecast? Weather straight ahead. Stay with us.
And find out how you can make the holidays brighter for those in need. The news at 10 begins right now.
You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 10.
Good evening, I'm Tamika Alexander. Thanks for joining us. The recent death of a Northport police officer after a car crash on Highway 43 is a reminder of the tragedies that can happen on the road. The holidays are also a time when more car crashes happen, and the cold weather we're having can be a factor as well. In our top story at 10, WVUA's Emily Forrester has some information to help you stay safe while driving this winter.
We have two problems a lot of times this time of the year, frost and dew. Dew is usually really heavy in the morning times and the late night hours. So if you head out to your car, your truck, and you have that layer of dew or frost on the windshield, it's a good idea to remove that before you head out driving, because a lot of times that can obscure your view.
And due to Officer Guin's death, Northport City Administrator Scott Collins says we all have a lesson to learn.
We hope that in a tragedy like this, if there's just a reminder for people to be careful when you drive, think about what you do. You know, when you're behind the wheel, anything can happen. And it's just one of those things where we hope we learn a lesson, the community gets to learn from that.
And that lesson is very simple. There are a few things you can do prior to a cold night to prevent obstruction of vision while driving.
You could actually make a solution of 3 parts vinegar, 1 part water, and spray it on. That's not 100% going to be make it to where you can get through, but that'll be a starting point. Second thing you could do, if you do have frost on your car, you actually can make a solution of rubbing alcohol in a spray bottle and squirt it on it. That actually helps the defrosting process as well.
A more simple fix, according to Smelly, is to simply
get up early, 15 minutes early, turn your heater on, let it sit there.
And if you experience problems seeing while driving, Smelly says it's best to pull over.
If you can't see, then use caution, get off of the road. Like you said, it's a safety factor, not only for you, but for others.
Smelly also says if your car is parked outside overnight, buying a cheap shower curtain to cover your car will help keep it from frosting. In Tuscaloosa, Emily Forrester, WVUA News.
Turning now to the weather, let's get a first check on Alabama's home team forecast with Chief Meteorologist Richard Scott. Hey, Richard, it's feeling a lot like winter out there tonight. Yeah,
and it's about time to make. It's been warm so much lately. In fact, over the past couple of weeks, temperatures above normal, finally starting to get that taste of reality again. December-like weather. 40 Tuscaloosa now. We're already below freezing in Haleyville. And Sulligent reporting 31 at this hour, 30 in Columbus, Mississippi. But down to the south, those upper 30s happening, low 40s towards Clinton and Rockford. All of us tonight going to have that light to moderate freeze early tomorrow morning, and still a good deal of cloud cover. Notice some of our northwest counties where the skies are clear. It's colder there, allowing some of that cool air to develop across our northwest counties, some of that heat to escape through the clear skies. Upper level disturbance tracking south of us tonight, and that's producing rain along the Gulf Coast. No rain or precip around here tonight or tomorrow. We'll gradually notice more sun later in the day. 41 at 9 o'clock in the morning, 55 as we go towards 3 o'clock. A little bit warmer, still a cool day. But when will the warming trend really take over? And is there any rain in the forecast? Your forecast is straight ahead.
Thanks, Richard. And with this quick snap in temperatures, many people will be looking for ways to stay warm, and some need a little extra help this time of year. The Wings of Grace Center in Forest Lake says they are seeing a large need for items that include coats, jackets, and thick socks. The center serves many throughout Tuscaloosa, and some clients are continuing to recover from the April 27th tornado. Director Terry Hubbard says there are a lot of little needs that people forget about, like wrapping paper for presents. Hubbard says just one donation makes a big difference.
Some people may think it's not a big, just to bring in a box of goodies or candies or coffees or hot chocolates. It does go. It goes a long way to, to help these people. So every little thing is very meaningful. Old shoes, old pajamas, because it's a necessity for others that did not have anything.
To donate items, you can drop them off at the Wings of Grace Center Monday through Wednesday from 1 to 4 and 10 to 4:30 on Thursdays and Fridays. For more information, call the number there on your screen, 205-759-1569. And if you know of someone who needs shelter from the cold weather, call Compassion Coalition at 205 349-2797 for more information. Well, Tuscaloosa and the surrounding areas continue to welcome new businesses, and they're starting to get national attention because of it. With the cut of a ribbon, the Riverwalk Place condominiums and retail became part of Tuscaloosa's growing business and residential community. The Riverwalk is one of the many attributes in Tuscaloosa that businesses are taking advantage of. Businesses at Riverwalk Place include Orange Leaf Yogurt and a restaurant called Another Broken Egg Cafe. Chamber of Commerce President Jim Page says Tuscaloosa is a good place to do business and start a career.
Our overall economic climate has drastically improved as of late. You know, we're coming off of an economic recession nationally, but also the devastating tornadoes of April 2011 really hit our economy hard. But since then, we've come roaring back.
Forbes recently listed Tuscaloosa as the 58th best small city for business and careers. According to the magazine, these cities are chosen based on cost of living, job growth, and education factors in the cities. Business costs and educational attainment are most important when choosing these cities. Well, on your home team Health Watch, fighting the flu. According to the Department of Health, about 100 cases across the state have been reported, but doctors say more flu-like illnesses are showing up in West Alabama. Doctors say they're seeing more of the H3 strand this year. It's a strand that is targeted by this year's flu shot. Dr. Pamela Moody with the Alabama Health Department says while only 100 cases of flu have been confirmed, there have been a lot more flu-like cases where people have the same symptoms of the patients do not actually have the flu. Officials say you can be exposed to the flu up to a week before you see any symptoms, and this year is no exception.
Hearing from the CDC that the flu is arriving earlier this year and is more severe, so we certainly encourage the flu shot. That will help keep the spread of disease down quite a bit.
According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, you should cover your mouth and nose with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Wash your hands often to protect yourself from germs. Avoid touching your eyes and nose or mouth, and get plenty of sleep. Well, according to the latest rankings published by the United Health Foundation, Alabama is ranked as the 45th healthiest state in the nation. Last year, they were number 48. Experts say the improved ranking is due to an improvement in other key areas such as child poverty, occupational fatalities, and the percent of the population with some form of health insurance. But Alabama is still ranked near the bottom of the list when it comes to diabetes, obesity, infant mortality, and cardiovascular health. Well, the University of Alabama will produce new graduates this weekend, and one of those soon-to-be grads has a story like no one else. WVUA's Travis Leader introduces you to a man who came from being an orphan living in poverty to earning a doctorate in neuroscience.
Barinaba Kautu will soon receive his doctoral degree at the University of Alabama. It's a feat some have called unimaginable, considering his poor orphan background on a small island in the Pacific nation of Kiribati. Kautu says he's lived most of his early childhood with no home, and he did what he had to do just to survive.
We basically use natural resources to survive. We have to have some skills, exceptional skills, in order to be able to survive on an island, and that's basically what I did.
Kautu says his grandmother did her best to raise him and made sure he placed a strong emphasis on education. His academic prowess got the attention of his government, who wanted him to become a doctor in Fiji. But Kautu is determined to come to the United States.
I wanted something more. I wanted to do something more, and I was really passionate about doing biomedical research. So I wanted to come to the United States. And my government didn't agree. They didn't want to give me a full scholarship.
So they gave him a partial scholarship, but Kautu says American generosity has helped him continue to where he is today. Now Kautu is hoping to give back to his native land by setting up the first childhood cancer foundation in Kiribati.
A lot of the kids in these countries, like especially Kiribati and some of the poor countries, when you get sick, you die. There's nothing there. There's no medicine. You die.